Hello, my name's Lachlan St. Clair and welcome to the June edition of Smart Money. Not a vast amount to talk about in this episode, so we'll keep this one reasonably brief. I think the key issue is that interest rates have obviously come off by the RBA, and the expectation is clearly for further cuts over the next 12 months or so. The economic storm clouds in Australia are certainly gathering at the moment. The latest CPI figure, I should say, at the end of March was flat, and CPI for the year is about 1.3%, so really quite low. Unemployment had jumped up. There's been talk about a retail recession. I probably don't need to go on, but at the end of the day, clearly all the economic risk domestically in Australia is to the downside, and so we do see interest rates coming off, and we have definitely seen that flow through into term deposit rates at the moment. So for a term deposit now for 3 or 6 months, you're lucky to get somewhere in the low 2s, 2.1, 2.15 sort of thing. So it really has been a significant pullback in the credit markets. I should mention the equity markets have continued to run and are really quite strong at the moment. Certainly from an investment perspective, it's probably not really the time to be buying at the moment. I think we'll probably need to go through another risk-off cycle that we sort of go through every 6 to 12 months or so, and you could easily see those markets come back to 10 or 15% without too many problems at all. So certainly for those clients that are sitting in cash and term deposits, I know it's frustrating because those rates are relatively low. However, I don't think it's as frustrating as it will be if you sort of bought into an overpriced share market and all of a sudden see 10 or 15% of your valuation fall away. So it really is a time for patience in our view at this particular stage of the investment cycle. It's an interesting time, and I think patience really is the catch cry. We're obviously coming up at an end of financial year as well, so for those of you who still need to make a contribution to super, you probably really need to do that today, tomorrow at the latest. That's Wednesday, so that the receiving superannuation fund receives and banks the money by the end of the week, because the money's got to be in the fund by the 30th of June. Of course, your maximum contribution limits for most people are now $25,000. So if your employer or your SG contribution is only $20,000, you can potentially put another $5,000 in and claim a personal tax deduction to offset that contribution, which is kind of the same as salary sacrificing at the end of the day. So we certainly encourage anybody with some spare cash floating around or lying around to consider doing that, because obviously it builds your super and it saves you some taxation as well. For any of you self-managed superannuation clients out there, I know we have seen most of you over the last month or so, but for anyone who we haven't caught, or if you've just forgotten about our meeting, please make sure you draw your minimum pension out before 30 June. That's really critically important, otherwise you won't find yourself in a tax position when the accounts are done for this financial year. Well, that's it for us. I think there's not a huge amount more to talk about from an investment perspective. I have mentioned this to most of my clients, but I'm away for basically the whole month of July. As I'm sure many of you know, we've got the caravan, the four-wheel drive up in Broome at the moment, and we fly out there this weekend. We pick it up and we've got 3 or 4 weeks, 4 weeks in the Kimberley and Cape Leveque, and out exploring the Gibb River Road and some of that real backcountry of Australia. So really looking forward to that. The office is obviously open over that period of time. The rest of the staff are still here. However, it will be quite difficult to contact me. Quite a few of the areas we're going to are pretty remote, so I will go fairly significant periods of time being uncontactable. So you're always welcome to call the office. Edward should be in here for most of July as well, so if any advice is required or TDs need to be reset, then he can obviously help you out with that. In the meantime, we trust you all have a great school holiday, and I look forward to catching up with you all early in August. We'll talk to you soon. Thank you.